Today we talk about how you can close investment deals and how we have generated over 1 million within the first days in 2025, how we have closed over 1 million in deals within the first 7 days in 2025. We have squared commitment for $1,230,000, cash collected $376,000. How you can see the first day, how many emails we have already sent out, the open rates, you can see the follow up, and you can see the meetings that we have already booked, and you can already see the show up rates right here, and you can see the meetings that we have already booked from our qualified list of investors. You can see how many 2, 3, 3, 4, 6, 7, 8 meetings. Here you can see the show up rates that we have done right here, and the squared commitment within the first 7 days. It was $1,230,000. Cash collected $376,000. So how we have done that? How we have closed deals? How we are closing deals so fast that others are already shocked of how we are working. First of all, I have team of A players. I don't have anyone who are C, B players, but there are also many other factors that I can absolutely present to you during today's video. I will tell you everything, how we are closing the deals. I will tell you about how we are losing the investment deals and what you can do in order to close the investment deals in 2025. What you can do fast, easy, and simple to make sure that you will have the best year and to raise up capital for your own startup or for your own investment firm or for your own hedge fund. They will get into it. How we are doing that, you can take a look on the description below. You can see how we are doing that. But on how you can start to do that, we will tell you. So let's get into it directly so we don't spend your own time and I don't spend my own time. So let's get into it. So how to win investment deals in 2025. Let's get into it. So first of all, to understand how we can close investment deals, so we need to understand how we can avoid having lost deals, correct? So deals getting lost because of fear of uncertainty, unknown risky outcome, losing faith. So I will break out each one of them, okay? And we will explain to you what you need to do in order to do that. Fear of uncertainty. So if that's what you are struggling with, so what you need to do is you need to build a scalable brand fast. That's what we are doing for our clients. That's what we're making sure to do. So whenever we want to raise up capital for founds, for a startup, for whatever what we have for projects, so that's what we do directly. We build a scalable brand fast. All right. So why we're doing that? Just to build more trust, build more authority, build more credibility. That's what we're making us to be long away from the insecurity. Do you understand? That's what you need to think about it. So fear of uncertainty, that's what we have for solution for it. At the same time, what we also do, we address the unspoken objection from the first touch. So whatever we have for unspoken objection from the first touch with the investors, what we're making sure to do is to address all the unspoken objection in the intro deck and provide the feedback on each investor pre-call. So after each call, we're making sure to provide brief feedback on each investor. So we're making sure that all the unspoken objections that they would actually have or they were concerned about, so we will handle them directly up front. Because if you do that, we'll absolutely gain trust fast from the investors. Unknown risky outcomes. That's what they are struggling with. Those who are looking to raise up capital. The investors, they have that in their own minds, unknown of risk outcome. So what we are doing right here is we giving them the worst scenario. So I have a slide that it calls for what if. Inside this slide, so we're going through on what the worst scenario would be for this project, and for the worst scenario, what we can actually do to handle the worst scenarios. So by doing that, we're making sure to give them more comfortability, more trust, and more safety that even during the worst scenarios, we will absolutely close the deals and we will absolutely make sure that this project or this fund or this startup will absolutely provide outcome and return on the investment. So what if you need to address all the worst scenarios that the investor would actually concern about and address all of that on the first touch? All right, do that, you will close more deals. Minimize risk by only working with startups that have track records. That's what we have already done. So we are only working with startups or hedge funds that have already track records only. We also leverage connections that know the investors to break through. So we take a look on who these investors know in the space. If they are in the venture capital, we take a look on who they know. If we know any one of them, if we know any startup, any project that they have already worked with, they have already invested with, because that's what we are doing in our database. We're making sure to segment them and we take a look on their own interests, their own portfolio, what they have done for investment before. At the same time, we're taking also a look on what they have already for partnerships, connections in the space. So we do that and we're making sure to leverage the connection. We're making sure to tell them about, all right, the same investment opportunities that you see today or that we are presenting to you today. We have already presented this same investment opportunity to X and he have already gave us positive response. That's why we have also presented this opportunity to you, and that's what we want also make sure that you will have the best possible return on it, that it could actually benefit you. So we making sure to do absolutely that. We're making sure absolutely to present the project to the X first before we doing the connection with the investor. And we're making sure that everything will make sense for both sides before we're doing any presentation or before to the investors. So now number three, the key factor why you are losing investment deals, losing faith. That's the biggest one. That's what you are struggling with, and that's what we have already struggled with before. Losing faith. How they are losing faith in you or in your own startup or in your own hedge fund by breaking promises or changing your own story several times. So if you breaking your own promises or changing your own story multiple times, so that will give them a huge red flag that you are not the one and you are here not for the long term and you are trying to be sneaky, something similar, and that absolutely will give them a huge red flag because relationship it builds with faith, with credibility, with trust. So what I can recommend you to do is you need actually to back up all of your own promises that you have already promised them on each call, on each touch point, on everything that you have already mentioned to them. You need actually to make sure that everything makes sense. Don't change your story multiple times. Have one story. Don't change your story because you just want to make a sense to the investor, or this specific investor. That will never work. Okay. Make sure to never change your story. Have one story because all of the investors or most of the investors they know each other. They're coming from the same space. Number two, discover new contexts that you had to present from the first touch, but you didn't. If you have today a call with the investor and you haven't presented all the context or all the information or all of the materials that you would present to him, and he start to discover something that you haven't already presented to him on the first touch, that will absolutely make him to lose faith. And by losing faith, you're making him to absolutely have a setback, right? And they will not invest into you. Do you understand? So make sure to be absolutely clear, crystal clear with everything from the first touch. So maybe you have something that will not make sense to present to the investor. Let's say that, and you want to make sure that you don't want to mention that to them in some way. Okay, so what you can say, you can say like that. You can have it this way. You can say we are not X, and now you're giving them the worst side of your project. Say that, but we will absolutely deliver Y and Z on that because we have that in our backend. Do you understand? So make sure to address that upfront. That will help you to build trust, credibility all the time. So don't heed anything. Be clear. Be crystal clear. If you are here for the long term, be crystal clear. Okay. So as you can see here, being clear and certain would also be helpful. Be clear, certain that this project will absolutely give return, absolutely will be helpful for you. At the same time, don't try to hold the frame, don't try to mirror them, don't try to talk with them with two devices at the same time and trying to hold the frame and give them like a bit of stress of something similar just to make sure that you will win the deal. All of that will never make sense, will never give you a deal. You will just burn the connection with him or with her. So don't do that. All of that are only for the new pies. Don't try to hold the frame, control the call. All of that will never work out for you. Okay. Just be you, be clear, have conversation, and things will go. Things will actually work out if you only clear. Okay. Be clear, be crystal clear. Don't lie. Don't say anything. Don't hide anything. Okay. Don't try to hold the frame. Okay. All the billionaires, they are not holding the frame. They will tell you, get into the main thing. We are here to understand what you are talking about. Don't spend our time. So get into the main thing. Okay. No one actually will pay attention to hold the frame except those who are six, seven figures. If you will start to compete with the eight, nine figures, they will directly tell you, don't hold the frame because all of that will never lead you to win the deal over us because we see all of it. And the next one, sharing a quick story about yourself can add empathy to the conversation and encourage the other party to open up. So you can say something that, all right, when I was a kid or when I was 7 years old, when I was 8 years old, share a story about your own self, have emotional connection with the investor directly will absolutely make sense, especially right now when everyone going to the AI and everyone going like robotics. Just be you, be you, be as a human, and that will absolutely help you out. If you only human and sharing story as a human will absolutely help you out. That's what you need to understand. That's exactly what you need to do in order to close in more investment deals. What we are doing is we're striving for no's. We would like to have as many no's as possible, as fast as possible. So we follow up constantly, several times per day after the calls to never let the fire getting killed. So we save time and being clear and certain with our numbers and database. So after each call with the investor, we're making sure to follow up with them directly after the call, have the negotiation side, the negotiation chats open with them directly, make sure to provide all the materials that they would like to see, all the answers that they have already asked about. And we're making sure to keep the conversations, the lines open, active until we're closing the funding capital. And we keep asking, we provide you them X as answer to their question, and we ask directly for a second call. Directly. We follow up constantly several times every day on each call. After the call, we several times. What you want right now, we would like to see, what do you would like to see for legal documents, what do you would like to see for materials, what do you have for concerns, what do you have for questions. All of that we will provide to you right now, right away. Sure, done. You got it? We making sure to call them after the call. We have their own numbers. We're calling them. If we don't, we send a message. If they don't respond, we send the email. If they don't respond to our email, we're making sure to have another connection to them. We're making sure to figure out and never let the deal die and be called because you're losing deals when they are called. You will never close deals until you're making sure that you will have a system, speed, and clear and uncertainty. When you have all of them, you will close more deals. Don't try to hold the frame. All that will never work out. Try to be a human. Short story of you when you was a kid, how you was as a kid, how you was when you grow up. Okay, have emotional connection with them. Don't let them to lose a face. Be clear. Be clear. Stay clear from the first touch. Don't break your promises. Hold your promises, and leverage connections that you have with the ambassadors to make sure that you will actually break through the relationship directly to a new level. Build scalable brand fast. Don't be unknown. Build scalable brand fast. Will absolutely help you out. Address the unspoken objection on the intro deck. Make sure to give them the what if worst scenarios slide and be persistent and work with speed and take a look on your own database all the time. Track your numbers because you will get there. Was everything for today. If you would like to take a look on those videos, you will find them in the description below. If you would like to rise up capital, also find something in the description below that will help you out. Until next time.